Yo, what is up, guys? Hopefully, you guys hear me good. Not using my microphone as right now because I have to like charge my camera, so I can't like do both at the same time because this has to like plug in. But yeah, I decided to bring you guys a live stream of like breaking down the last 20 games like of the schedule. When it comes to New York Knicks, because there's some very crucial games down the stretch. There's some winnable games, and that's the thing. Like, there's winnable games. We got to go on to win these games um, because obviously they're winnable, and that's been the thing in the past that we don't go on to win these games that we're supposed to. So it's like, are we gonna go on to beat these tough opponents, like when it matters most to make the playoffs? If we can't beat a team like the Rockets, if we can't beat a team like the Lakers without LeBron James and Anthony Davis, if you know what I'm saying. But I thought it would be a good idea to break down these games for sure. Really take a look at like certain parts of like for example, like the Grizzlies, like how we will struggle against a certain team, if you know what I'm saying. Like if it's outside shooting or their point guard really good at penetrating and Payton not being able to put pressure on the defense on a consistent basis because their point guard scores so much, for example. But I thought it would be a good idea. What's going on? And Mage is in the house. Hope you're doing well. Mets came out the W for you. That's great, man. Shantaro, appreciate you being a member. Really appreciate you being here. Just thank you so much for always supporting the channel, sticking with me, and yeah, thank you so much for you to like further your support. Like, I really greatly appreciate that, man. I really do. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, MH says we gotta finish. We gotta close out games, and especially against these bad teams. Like, yes, for example, if it's a close game and coming down like to the stretch or going down to the wire up against a team like the Houston Rockets, like doesn't even matter if we don't have a closer. Like the Rockets don't either. We can't let Christian Wood come up clutch. We can't let Kevin Porter Jr., Jay Sean Tate, even John Wall. Even though I like John Wall, that team is just so awful. It shouldn't even come down to the wire, like at all. If you know what I'm saying, it's crazy how they went on to beat the Dallas Mavericks. But those games should be blowouts. We should just mop the floor with them. But you never know in the NBA. Nothing is guaranteed. These are professional athletes at the end of the day. Actually, I did, Shantaro. I actually checked it out today. I checked out the Brandon Boston video. Really good videos scouting these top prospects. Yeah, I like Brandon Boston. He's really raw though. He might be take like when he gets to the league. There's probably gonna be some grooming in the G League. But yeah, I just want to talk to you guys for a little bit, and then I'm gonna get into schedule, of course, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, at first I couldn't find it because I think like you spelled it wrong for a second. Like I guess there was like an autocorrect, and I was like, can't find it. I was like, here it is. But yeah, that guy makes like quality content. He deserves a lot more subscribers. He deserves like 1,000 subscribers. He's putting in a lot of work over there for sure. But yeah, let's get into the schedule. All right, so let me add this real quick. So when you take a look here, like at the schedule, like these games, there's winnable games, and then there's like certain games like that's gonna be tough. That's really gonna be tough if you know what I'm saying, MH. So here we go. Of course, we just came off of a very heartbreaking loss against the Celtics. Like I said, you can't let this game be close because we have no closer. Jason Tatum is very capable of just closing this game out. Jaylen Brown is, or because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum draw so much attention, it's going to leave guys like a Marcus Smart open. You could say it's a miscommunication, but when there's really good players, it's going to open up opportunities for other players. So, and also, we just could not rebound in that game. We got to learn to box out. We're definitely missing Mitch's athleticism when it comes to rebounding the basketball. Shintaro says, my hopeful Knicks starters next year: Davion Mitchell, RJ, Kawhi. Yo, if we get Kawhi, that's just insane. That's definitely the dream. But Davion Mitchell, of course, that would be amazing to go out there. Draft Davion Mitchell. He's climbing up some mock drafts, like he's not climbing up at all. Um, yeah, RG, I'm cool with that. Kawhi Leonard, of course, would be amazing. And you said I don't know when it comes to the center position. Yeah, I get that because like for example, like Mitchell Robinson, he's proven to not stay healthy. So what are we gonna end up doing? Are we gonna draft Kai Jones with the second pick if he slips in the draft? But yeah, obviously that I love the optimism there, man. Christopher, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. He said you came just in time. We haven't even like broke down the schedule yet. He said we better get Lonzo, man. Of course, Lonzo would be that very good fit. he's way more confident this year. He's taking it to the basket. We know like what he's able to do on defense. We know how he is. He's a magician passing the basketball. He plays at the right pace. He can play in the half court setting. He can play fast. I would definitely love to play fast with Lonzo Ball because that's where RJ thrives in transition. And even though Randall's really capable of scoring, like in the half court setting with the fadeaway and everything he's adding to his arsenal, like these players when it comes to the Knicks, we need to get quality shots. And when you don't have the best of spacing, it's hard to get quality shots, you know? All right, so the Memphis Grizzlies are the first game up here. And the Memphis Grizzlies, John Morant did have a scare when it came to an injury, but actually he's going to be playing in this basketball game. John Morant, I know people really knock on his shooting prowess from downtown, but he's still a very good passer. I think people underrate like how much he really impacts that team when it comes to pace, tempo, controlling the flow of the game. If you know like what I mean, when you take a look at a John Morant, again, he's not great from downtown, shooting 22%, but he's a magician with the basketball. And there still remains to be no Jaren Jackson Jr., even though they've solid players like a Brandon Clark. They have a Jonas Valanciunas over there as well. Dylan Brooks is someone I'm really scared of. At the beginning of the season, we were doing a much better job closing out on shooters, but it's kind of fallen off in my opinion. Like there's certain stats when it comes to the Knicks defense that I think is overrated because I watch it. I'm like, is our 3-point defense really that good? Because at the end, like at the beginning of the season, it just seemed like a bunch of opponents were just missing wide open shot after wide open shot, and eventually they started to capitalize on those. If you know what I'm saying, like they were missing tons of shots down the stretch. The Boston Celtics, like, and we're just lucky that they're missing some open shots. Like they could have put that game away earlier, you know? So yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies, they have good players. This is nationally televised, so thank God I'll be able to watch this game. What's going on, Colin? Hope you're doing well. Michael's in the house. Hope you're doing well. Lance Stevenson, I wouldn't even mind bringing in a Lance Stevenson. I've always thought of him as like a New York Hooper. Karen, thanks so much for being here as well. Just thank you so much. Grizzlies must win. Got to win this game. But yeah, they still have some very, very, very solid players. Over there in Memphis, they have an underrated rookie of Desmond Bane. Could do a little bit of everything. Good on defense. He's a bully baller. He's a very strong player. He's capable of being this 3-and-D player for them. So I'm not gonna say it's a guaranteed W, but it's a game you definitely have to win. When it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies. So this game, I believe, is in Memphis. Whew. Actually, no, this is at home. This is at home. This game's at home. Got to win this basketball game. The crowd still goes crazy. You got to come out with this W against Memphis. Like I said, they have Desmond Bane. They still have John Moran. Again, he's struggling from downtown, but the pace he plays at, just the way he controls the flow of the game is insane. Got to come out with this dub, though. Dylan Brooks scares me in this game, but if you want to make it to the playoffs, you must beat the Grizzlies. Yo, Stephen Fox, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. Nicholas is in the house. Karen's in the house. Yeah, Michael, appreciate you being here. All right, the Toronto Raptors. All right, the Raptors have not been good. All right, so Winslow's out tomorrow against the Knicks. I actually thought like Winslow was someone I kind of never really like gave up on. I remember actually some Knicks fans wanted to draft Winslow, and it was funny. Some Knicks fans wanted to get Moutier as well, which is just hilarious now thinking about it because we had Moutier. Same thing with Dennis Smith Jr. A lot of Knicks fans wanted Dennis Smith Jr., and we eventually got him. Was disappointing. Same thing with Emmanuel Moutier. Like I always thought they had talent, but they just had to learn how to play the point guard position. But yeah, Winslow's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. So that sucks he's injured, but that definitely helps us, in my opinion. Because he could get up and down in transition. But moving on to the Toronto Raptors. All right, so the Raptors are a versatile team. They still have Kyle Lowry. They did not deal Kyle Lowry at the trade deadline. Their team we're expecting to see Kyle Lowry gone next season. They're gonna rebuild. This team is still like they need a huge piece. Kawhi leaving was huge for them. Like they have Siakam. Of course, actually ended up with Gary Trent, which is just crazy. I love Gary Trent. I thought that was good for both sides because Norman Powell in Portland is huge for them. Norman Powell. Um, Gary Trent's such a great shooter of the basketball overall. Scorer. He's still young. We know how like Kyle Lowry, he is such a oh my gosh, like he pisses you off. Like you just Payton, I think Payton will be pissed off in this basketball game because the way Lowry draws charges, just Sometimes he hits the most difficult shots ever. He could bully you in the paint. He's just one of those very unique players with such a high basketball IQ. And Lowry's out of this game. So it says yes, Lowry's out too. Van Vliet's out. All right. So Van Vliet and Lowry are out in this game. So do we even have to talk about this much? Like, this should be a W. If we don't win this game, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. This is at home too, because last time I believe we played them in Toronto and we should have won, but we didn't execute down the stretch. Devin Cruz is in the house. See who else is in here. I'm sorry if I missed anyone in here. Clippers. It is a tough schedule, especially like the last 5 games. Hope you're doing well. Always got to be here when I can. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. RJ, good shooter, and Bullock improving. Definitely streaky, Bullock. Yeah, like a lot of people got a high on Siakam. I still like Siakam. I know it's like easy to say he's overrated now because like they're starting to lose. And of course, it came off of a championship, so a lot of players on that team got like set to such a high pedestal, But yeah, I hope everyone's well. I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. All right, so Toronto Raptors got to win that game. You really do. No Van Vliet, no Lowry. Like Gary Trent, he could score the heck out of the basketball, but you just have to win that game. And they don't have like Serge Ibaka from last season as well. That's something that really hurt us, like rim protection wise. And yeah, you just have to. And you could say they're kind of rebuilding now. Wait, what's your lineup? My prediction lineup for next year is point guard Lonzo, RJ, Bullock, Randall, and Cat. I don't think we're getting Cat. Personally, I like Cat. I have a feeling Knicks fans will turn on Cat like real easy. Like he's a really talented player, but he is soft in my opinion. I hope Bullock's not back. I like Bullock, but he's really inconsistent, and I don't want him being a starter. Like we know Bullock's not the starter of our future. Yeah, isn't Bembry like suspended? Didn't he do something? All right. So Toronto. So Memphis. I still think that's going to be a close game. They still have some very underrated pieces, like a Brandon Clark, like a Desmond Bane, Valanciunas. He kills us, it seems like, every time. John Moran with the tempo he plays at. Dylan Brooks. Not going to say that's a guaranteed W, but Toronto should be a guaranteed W without Van Vliet, without Lowry. Los Angeles Lakers, this should be a W right here. This has to be a W. No LeBron James, no Anthony Davis. I respect Kuzma. I respect other players on that basketball team. But just, do we really have to dive into this that much? Like, I don't know. I think RJ could have a really big game. I think Randall can. This would be totally different, obviously, if we played AD and LeBron James. Of course, LeBron James, one of the best players in the world. But Anthony Davis, like a defensive player of the year candidate every year who would shut down Randall. And I love Randall. But yeah, that should be a W. All right, the New Orleans Pelicans. You never know what New Orleans Pelicans team you're going to play. You never know what's going on, Karam. Hope you're doing well. Alexis Pokusevski balling out, man. I actually wanted my Knicks to get him, but he didn't end up slipping to our second pick. But yeah, the New Orleans Pelicans, they're such an interesting team because you never know what team you're going to get when it comes to New Orleans Pelicans. Some nights you might have Lonzo Ball freaking just going off, like Lonzo Ball being amazing, and then he had a night shooting like he shot a lot of threes the other night. It was like insane. But yeah, the Pelicans, some nights they look good defensively, and some nights they're like the worst team to ever live defensively. The Nets are an insane team, so I'm not going to use that as an example, but they were really bad defensively last night. But yeah, they have Zion. The physicality of him is absolutely insane. Like Zion and Randall, I think is going to be a good matchup. I think Randall's going to have to kill him outside on the perimeter, or he's going to have to try to find ways to take Zion out of his defensive stance because Zion has the tools. Like, he is very strong. He's very muscular, so it's hard to back him down in the paint. But his footwork, the way he really navigates on defense is actually not the greatest. He's gotten better as a defender, though, as the season's gone on. But I think Randall's finesse in the post and from downtown will definitely wear down Zion, in my opinion. But I think you have to kill Zion outside the perimeter. Lonzo, I think he's going to look to push it in this game. They have Josh Hart. They have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It feels like the Pelicans are one of those teams we haven't really beat in a while when you think about it. Because we didn't beat them last season. Zion didn't even play. This is actually RJ's first time going up against Zion in the regular season. Of course, RJ had that really bad game in the summer league, and a bunch of people were saying RJ was a bust right off of that. And yeah, what do you guys grade RJ's performance last night? I thought RJ was amazing. 6 of 6 from downtown, 28, 29 points, whatever it was. And he had that one turnover, but he made up for it with like 2 clutch baskets. And he was definitely not the reason we lost last night. But I think the Pelicans is a must-win basketball game. They have Jackson Hayes, but he's still like learning the NBA game. Got to beat the Pelicans. All right, next up we have the Dallas Mavericks. We actually have back-to-back nationally televised games. I think it's because it's RJ against Zion. You have Randall against Zion as well. Remember all those jokes people made? RJ's gotten better as a defender, even though I think RJ's a better playmaker. Pelicans must win. I agree, man. And of course, they have Brandon Ingram. I don't know. We'll see. You guys don't have Anthony Davis or LeBron James, but you never know. It might be just a night that Kuzma goes off or Talon Horton Tucker or something. I think the Knicks love Bullock mostly because of the connection he has with Randall, and he plays pretty solid defensively. But I'd rather like draft a new 3-and-D guy and move Bullock to the bench. Like I'll bring Bullock back as a bench piece. Yeah, RJ didn't play that well defensively last night, but throughout the season, I think he's gotten better. He's way better than last season, in my opinion. But yeah, he got lost on a bunch of cuts. Yeah, Jaylen Brown did cook him. I believe he had like over 30 in that game. Like he got lost so many times. It seemed like RJ was chasing out to the 3-point line, especially down the stretch a lot. But yeah, he was amazing offensively. He really was. And I have confidence RJ is going to be good, though, because of his work ethic, his character. I'm actually going through the games right now, man. Andrew. What's going on, Braypan? Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate you being a member and always showing love to the channel. I try to get you guys involved as much as possible. My next member stream, I believe it's on the 23rd. I'm going to be doing a giveaway in there. Try to show as much love to all you guys and just try to make you guys feel like you're really involved in the channel and you're really a part of the channel because you guys are. This channel wouldn't be possible without you guys, you know. AD will probably be back when Knicks play them in 4 days. I don't think he'll be back by then, will it? It looks like Kawhi wants to stay with the Clippers. Well, he's from LA. I don't see him moving again. That'd be weird. But yeah, Dallas Mavericks. Oh gosh, you never know in these games. The Dallas Mavericks, such an interesting team. Yeah, we've back-to-back televised games, which is like really cool because I have to like stream them off of my phone. But when I take a look at the Dallas Mavericks, oh, jeez. I know, like, I don't take these games as personal as last year because it was like Porzingis' first time coming back to Madison Square Garden, so we beat him that time. But obviously you have Luka. Gosh, there's no one to match up. Like, see, people may make fun of me because I'm Frank's not that good. He's not like there's a reason he's not out there on the floor. If it's confidence, picking his dribble up too early, even though they played him off the ball like later in his NBA career. It's just that he's so bad and such a liability offensively that he's not out there on the floor. That's the main thing with Frank, and it's just confidence, just not being decisive. But I would play Frank in the fourth quarter of this game. Like I said in my whatchamacallit, it was my game preview that you had to wear these guys out. You had to make them feel uncomfortable, and we didn't do that. Porzingis sucked, but everyone else I thought like wore us out offensively. Like that was the game people were like Randall looked tired and all that. Of course Randall played abysmal in that game, but this is just such a hard game to predict because so many things are gonna have to go our way. But it seems like every time we've played Porzingis, he sucked. But yeah, he's taking terrible shots. That's what we have to do. We have to force Porzingis into those terrible shots. I thought we were fine on Porzingis. It's just Luka, obviously the body control. and he's just obviously a fantastic player. You're never gonna completely lock down Luka. You're probably gonna keep him in check. Um, but it's gonna be tough. Josh Richardson, we'll see what happens with him in this game. He's pretty inconsistent for Dallas. I can't say we're gonna win this game. I want to be honest with you guys. Yeah, Rose sadly is like falling off since the virus, of course. Like, he's still shown some very nice flashes of getting to the basket. But then, like, I love Rose's push shot, but sometimes he uses it like too much in traffic. That might just be me nitpicking. It's definitely in the discussion for most improved player. Was going to be Christian Wood, but he got hurt. If he makes an All NBA team, that'd be huge. Depends really if the Knicks make the playoffs. Gosh, so I have us. All right, so quick recap. I have us losing to the Grizzlies. I think we're gonna beat Toronto. I think we're gonna beat LA. We're gonna lose to New Orleans. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like they're so inconsistent, but when they're on, they're like a good team. That's the thing. When they're on, they're inconsistent and they're terrible defensively. See, I can't trust this team down the stretch of games, so I'm really scared of the Mavericks game. I really am, and I think that's going to be close down the stretch. So I do not have us beating Dallas. We play New Orleans again. I think we will beat them the second time. I really believe that. It's a nationally televised game. I think RJ will have a big game. Gosh, there's just so many interesting players because like Alexander Walker, like how he's capable of scoring the ball. Steven Adams still a very capable center. You still have Jackson Hayes over there, and we just can't box out at all. So like, how are we gonna beat the Pelicans if like they have a Zion, they have Steven Adams, they have a springy player of Jackson Hayes? Like, how are we gonna freaking win this game? What was it in the first half? Up against last night Boston. What was the stat? They had 18 offensive rebounds or 18 second chance points. It was offensive rebounds, I believe. That's just insane. You can't let that happen. And when we did hold them in check on the offensive boards in the second half, we let up an offensive rebound on Marcus Smart when it mattered most. We can't let that happen. We got to box out. Second chance points are killing us, dude. I have the Knicks going 500 or just below. This team tends to go on a win and loss streak. And we're young too. Like, it's hard to string together wins in a row when you have pay in. When you have RJ's 20, he's going to go through his ups and downs. You know? They have Tristan Thompson. They have Robert Williams. And then you have Marcus Moore, who's like a good boxing out guard. But the Knicks don't have big men like that. We have Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson. You know? So it is what it is. All right, so Charlotte should be a winnable game. I believe Hayward will still be out, I believe, by the time we play Charlotte. Gosh, that was the scary thing. Like, I like Hayward, but the contract, his injury history, no LaMelo Ball, but Malik Monk's been amazing off the bench. Devontae Graham extremely inefficient, inconsistent. Cody Zeller's been over there forever. I think this is a winnable game. Feels like we never match up well against them, but you have to win this game. I agree, Bray Pan. I agree. We're a young team that there's going to be plenty of ups and downs. There really is. All right, so next up, we have Atlanta. Do you guys think we beat Atlanta? Of course, brand new coach that took over at the helm of Nate McMillan. Their defense was awful last night, but I believe they also had tons of injuries. Of course, they have John Collins out. They have this brand new like defensive philosophy, which they really needed. with Nate McMillan. He should have never been fired by the Pacers, in my opinion. But it seems like we own we own Atlanta. Like, we really own them. Lou Williams can see a 33-win season. I see that. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. Knicks will win, but it's gonna be tight. It seems like it's always tight. Like, even when we're up by a lot, it's like they always come back because they have Trae Young, who could just heat up in a hurry. But he's very capable of being not going off in this game. He has some games that he's awful, but I believe, what was it? The stat, he averages like 36 points per game against us. Yeah, the Pacers aren't good. They're not good this year. Especially since you have players from other teams injured. Yeah, that scares me. We can't close out games. But the Hawks can't either when they play us. See, I think Randall matches up so well against Atlanta, so I really have confidence we're going to win that game. All right, so next up we have Toronto. That's nationally televised too. I love that we're getting these nationally televised games, especially for me because I'm usually behind watching it on a stream. That is a game during daytime at 1 o'clock. I believe our last 1 o'clock. No, I was thinking the Celtics. I think we played the Celtics at 1 o'clock. It blew them out by like 30. No Tatum in that game though. I think Raptors will get revenge. Do you guys see us beating the Raptors? Pascal and Randall matchup. See, people like discredit Siakam a lot. Like, sometimes he can take very low quality shots offensively, but his length scares me against Randall. We know Randall's not this lengthy guy, but he is strong and physical. What's going on, Cooper? I hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it really does suck, Andrew. It does. It's definitely hurting us. We can't rebound to save our lives. But when Lonzo Towns make it to the Knicks, then Towns. Do you think Towns will be a Knick? I don't know. I don't know about that. See, like, I love Towns, but, like, does he fit what, like, Tibbs wants? Am I the only... I might sound crazy, but am I the only one that thinks, like, Towns is extremely great talent? I don't know. I might have... I'm... Like, if I said, like, Towns is overrated, I feel like a lot of people would kill me. It's sad we still won't get a chance to see the Knicks at full... Oh, yeah, I read that already. I noticed last night's game, the Knicks allowed too many runs in a span of time. 8-0 run, 11-0 run. Yeah, you can't do that. You just can't. I was telling many people, I was like, if we're gonna win this game, it's gonna have to be by 7+ points. And we had that chance in the fourth quarter when we were going on a run. It was an 8-0 run. But if it's 5 points and under, no, they have clutch guys. Or Tatum's a clutch guy. We don't have any clutch guys, and those clutch guys are gonna draw attention and open up shots for other guys. Like, there's no one that's clutch down the stretch. I love Randall, but he's not clutch. And obviously, we don't have the talent to go on those crazy runs yet. And, like, the talent of RJ, like, he's still really young. I like Siakam, but I know a lot of people think he's overrated. What is my overall season record? All right, let me count. Like, what I think, well, I have to check how many wins we have right now and then add up with the games I think we're going to win. No, I do not do fantasy basketball. I did, but I stopped it because I got bored. New Orleans is going to be a fun game. It's nationally televised, too. The first one isn't, though. Spinning and winning over Zion. Kadeem the Dream Allen. Yeah, I'll rate it, man. Like, out of 10. Want me to rate it out of 10? Or like out of 5 stars? I like Jared Allen. Jared Allen's a beast. Poor dude's on the Cavs. Yeah, you never know what Pelicans you're getting. Or do you mean our 9th overall pick? Do you mean Knox? Or you mean Obi? Because we picked Knox over MPJ, sadly. We could have just redshirted him. Yeah, I don't know. If we had Leon Rose, I think we would have drafted him. Knox has more 4-9 minutes than NBA minutes this year, probably. For me, there's a lot of connections with Towns. Of course, yeah, Tibbs said he's open to like I understand that. And he's young. But I feel like is he a winning player? It's hard to really tell when it comes to that. I know he's won in college and all that. But like I watch him play. I hate him defensively. Like he's really inconsistent defensively. Sometimes he looks like just a volume scorer if he takes a lot of shots. I don't know if I'm that high on Towns like other people are. Did the Jazz extend Conley? Or no? I don't think they did. I might be thinking of Drew Holiday. How old is Mike Conley? Yeah, he's been shooting well from 3, like over 40%. Mike Conley's 33 years old. I like Conley a lot. I think he's underrated. Guys like Conley and Drew Holiday. Yeah, can't tell. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't be mad, obviously, at Karl-Anthony Towns. He's one of the best centers in the game. He can stretch the floor. His awareness on defense will get better under Tibbs. But wasn't that the problem that like he wasn't this really mentally tough player to play under Tibbs? Like is Towns too soft? I know his comparison coming out was Ewing. All right, so to skim by these, I think we'll beat Atlanta. Toronto will get revenge, sadly. Phoenix is a blowout. Just doing. Phoenix is just. There's no chance. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, all those guys. No, it's not even close. I love Keldon Johnson. I bought his rookie card. I'm that high on him. Phoenix, not even close. It's going to be a blowout. Chicago, we have a chance. They're like the opposite. They're really good offensively, but terrible defensively. Like, we're really good defensively, but we're terrible offensively. We have about 11 games against West teams to finish out the season. I really want to rattle off of 500. If we can get a 500 record with this roster, Tibbs deserves freaking coach of the year. Obviously, I'm joking, but that would be impressive. Cooper says Devin Booker. All right, you're listing off your team. Devin Booker, that's amazing. Tyler Hero, he's kind of fallen off this year. Chris Middleton, Rudy Gobert, John Morant, Zion Williamson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Harden, John Wall, Blake Griffin, and Jamal Murray. Out of 10? Harden's insane for fantasy. Zion's been amazing. We know what Booker brings. Jamal Murray's kind of been inconsistent this year. I'll give that a 9 out of 10. That's a really good team, in my opinion. You have questions about Towns, like if he. It's so weird. Like he has this like he's so strong, but he's like not when you watch him play. What's going on, Knicks Talk? Thank you so much for being here, man. Hope you're doing well. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's like a soft guy. Obviously, he's been through a lot of shit. But like on the court, like and how we could handle certain coaching, you know. If those reports are false, just forget what I said. Can we call Julius and tell him to put it? I've been trying. I'm sorry. Bray says Drew got extension. Conley didn't. Yeah, but I think he'll resign due to the success he's having. Yeah, the Jazz, they're so great at moving the ball. Like, they have talent, but they still don't have that superstar. I know people love throwing the word superstar around. Like, Donovan Mitchell's a damn all-star. Like, he's a really good player. But to me, there's only a few superstars. There's LeBron. There's Kevin Durant. You could throw Harden. You could throw Giannis if you want. Like, superstars, like, people throw that around a lot. Probably because he worked at Kentucky. I don't want Lauri Markkanen, though. I don't want him. I'm good when it comes to Lauri. And he's a power forward, too, and he plays zero defense. Like, yeah, I'm good. Got Knicks on 34-38. That's realistic. How long has Buzzer Beater been a member? 3 months? 3 months? I think my first member was Joshua Craig, I'm pretty sure. Well, let's see. All right, so Chicago, I think we could win that game. I think we can. I think we have the capability of winning that. Houston, gotta win. All respect to Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. Memphis Grizzlies, think they'll get their revenge. Denver's a loss. Phoenix is a loss. LA's a loss. And the Lakers are a loss. Because LeBron and AD are going to be back. I'm sorry. I'm just being real with you guys with those. If we somehow beat any of these teams, Denver, Phoenix, LA, the Clippers, the Lakers, and San Antonio's tough too, they killed us. They freaking killed us. Like, when's the last time we beat the Spurs? Was it last season? Did we beat them last season? Yo, I really, really appreciate that. Like, that means the world. Thank you so much. Yeah, the Suns is a loss. They're amazing. I really hope they go far. We'll see what happens with them, though. Like, Chris Paul is, like, one of the most valuable players in the league. But, yeah, I really, really appreciate that, Bray Pan. I really do. Thank you so much. If you ever have any video suggestions, let me know. Or if you want me to, like, replace any emojis with, like, a different emoji. Because, like, if you remember, if you didn't know, when you go to type, there's, like, I believe a smiley face, like on your keyboard, and you have an option to type with emojis. Yeah, it's just that they're such a small market that they're not going to be talked about like the Lakers and Clippers. And free agency, yeah, Bradley Beal and free agency. If you want Bradley Beal, you're giving up the farm. You're giving up RJ. This is my mindset of going out there getting a Beal. So why would you? This is my like question for those people out there that want a Bradley Beal. Why would you give away draft capital? Why would you give up young players just for the same result? You're going to be giving away your future, the draft picks, for the same result you are in now. Like what? Like what's around Beal right now? Like he has Westbrook, but they're still not winning anything. So if Beal comes here, what are you surrounding him with? You're giving up the future for the same result. You really are. So I would just wait till free agency. I made a video on that, like way to like the only way we should try to require Bradley Beal. I try Achilles because I know so many people they have like these member things, but they never really do anything. That's why I want to do the member stream. That's why I promised Buzzer Beater if he like stays a member a year, which he doesn't have to do. That's optional on his part. Then I'll make him a Clutch People T-shirt and send it to him. People could swap out any new badges or emojis and trying to do a giveaway. It's hard to do. I'm probably not gonna be able to do the giveaway every single month because I'm only 17 years old. You know. Yeah, don't trade the farm. Which basketball YouTubers do I watch? It's weird because I used to watch basketball YouTubers a lot more. I used to watch Hoop Reference. I used to watch Mike Korzemba. And now I don't really watch them anymore. I don't know if it's like, I'm not saying it became boring. Like, all credits to those guys. They have great audience. But now I kind of just watch film of like, what's the name of this one channel? The Scouting, like, Rappaport or Report or something like that. Like, it has film of like Sharif Cooper, all these upcoming draft prospects. And They include the missed shots. They include the turnovers. So when I bring you guys these prospect videos, like I'm actually watching like every missed shot. I'm watching every made shot, a turnover, like what they didn't do right when it came to their crossover of not being effective. Like I'm actually watching what they're really doing. Um, but basketball, I see. I don't really watch like basketball YouTubers like I used to. I just like watch basketball highlights or film now, which might sound really weird. I can go under like my subscription history and tell you right now though. Yo, what's going on, Anthony? Hope you're doing well. When will I go live? Probably after Knicks play tomorrow, right? Of course, Friday. Probably after tomorrow. Like after tomorrow's game. Yeah, I'm 17. I just turned 17 April 2nd. Zach LaVine to the Knicks? Again, I would wait till free agency. I'm not giving up the whole farm. Like we made that mistake in the past. You don't trade the farm. Especially when you're not in a win now mode position, when you have a guy like RJ that's 20, you know? Yeah, exactly. Strengths and weaknesses. We must win these next two games. You got to beat Memphis tomorrow. You have to. But yeah, let's get back to the games. So obviously that's a very tough stretch. Phoenix is a loss. Clippers are a loss. But let me see how many wins. Could someone say like how many wins exactly we have right now? Would I trade for Maxey? I can see Maxey being gone. People don't want to hear that, but he's not going to get playing time. Like they're competing for a championship. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. You have a great night. I wish that's not realistic. We should have drafted him. But even though he's in a really perfect position playing off the ball. Video Gamers TV, thank you so much for being here. We have 25 wins right now. Okay. All right, so I'm going to count. Let's count. All right, so I think we're going to beat Memphis. That's 26. I think we're going to. Gosh, there's like one of these games that I feel like we're really going to, like, just not execute. By the way, let's just appreciate if someone told us last season that at this point in the season we'd be 25-27, we would be saying you're on crack. Because that's how bad the Knicks have been for such a long time. So can we finally appreciate improvement and development? Like RJ shooting 38% from three right now. He's shooting 45% from the field. He's averaging nearly 18 points. His assists are up. His efficiency from the free throw line. We gotta appreciate the development. All right, so you said we have 25 wins right now. All right, 25. So let's say we beat Memphis. That's 26. We beat Toronto. That's 27. Better beat the Lakers. No Anthony Davis or LeBron. Like one of these games can go really wrong though. But let's say we beat those teams. We have 28 wins. I think we'll lose against New Orleans. I'm sorry. We're gonna lose to Dallas. We're gonna get revenge and beat New Orleans. That's 29. We're gonna get revenge on Charlotte. No LaMelo, no Gordon Hayward. So I believe that's 30. I think Atlanta will get revenge with Nate McMillan. So I see us losing that game. I feel like we're gonna beat the Raptors once again. That's 31. We're gonna lose to Phoenix. We're gonna beat Chicago. Like, yes, they got Vucevic, but that defense is horrible. But I feel like that can come down the stretch. I think that can I think that can come down the stretch. So actually, so what are we at right now? 31 wins? All right. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. All right, we're at 31 wins. We're going to lose to Phoenix. I think we're going to lose to Chicago. I feel that's going to be close down the stretch, and we're going to lose. We're going to beat Houston, 32 wins. Grizzlies are going to beat us. We're going to lose to Denver. We're going to lose to Phoenix. We're going to lose to the Clippers. We're going to lose to the Lakers. I feel like Spurs are so tough. They're such a well-coached team. feel like we're gonna lose the Spurs again. I'm sorry, guys. Um, we're gonna beat Charlotte and we're gonna lose to Boston. So I think we're gonna win 33 or 34 games around there. I think we're gonna win 33 or 34 games. I don't know if that's enough to make the playoffs. In a 72 game season, we'll have to see. But when this schedule comes, when Memphis, Denver, Phoenix, Clippers, Lakers, Spurs, Boston, they might turn it around. You think we can beat the Spurs? I hope. They really fold down the stretch, but so do we. I love the optimism, video gamers. That's a good point, Devin. But what if Boston, Boston could be playing with the game, that could be a huge game for them, though. It really can. Because it could affect seeding. Because they're not a guaranteed top 5 seed. But yes, actually make a really good point. You make a good point. Kawhi could be resting in that game. LeBron could be resting, towards the end. You make a good point with that. So maybe we could win 35. Maybe. And of course, there's the play-in, of course, 9 or 10th seed. The winner of the 9th, 10th seed plays the loser for the 7th and 8th seed, of course, because whoever wins out of the 7th and 8th seed, of course, they end up being the 7th seed, the winner of the 7th, 8th seed. And then the loser of the 7th, 8th seed actually plays the winner of the 9th, 10th seed, and then that decides who ends up being the 8th seed. I'm talking about Lakers. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Knicks can't rest anyone. We know Tibbs isn't resting anyone, though. But yes, I think 35 games realistic. So let me recount these now when you think about the resting. All right, so we beat Memphis 26. We beat Toronto 27. We beat Los Angeles 28. We lose to New Orleans. We lose to Dallas. We get revenge on New Orleans 29. We beat Charlotte 30. We lose to Atlanta. I think they're going to be better under Nate McMillan. Toronto's going to get some type of revenge somehow. I feel like Phoenix still going to be... Yeah, I think we're going to win 34, 35 games. Yeah, but I don't even know if I don't know if it affects the pick, though. Because at the same time, it would kind of be good for us. I know we want to win. But having that draft pick, do you think it would actually... Guys, think about this. Are the Knicks in a better position if they're the 9th seed in the play-in than the 8th seed in the playoffs? Because of the lottery. So we're competing and we have a shot for the playoffs. Because when you're an 8th seed, you're in the playoffs. But you have kind of no shot at all. But when you're in the 9th seed, you're kind of in the same position, but you also get a higher draft pick, and then you have a chance to get more talent. So it's kind of like a win-win. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that was the D Rose, Joakim Noah era, Porzingis, Melo. Oh, I'd love Norman Powell free agency. Lonzo too. If we meet the Nets in the playoffs, we can really I'm not gonna say that. I know a lot of people are saying that, but come on. I'm not trying to be that person, but we can't beat Kyrie by himself. Of course, they have Joe Harris. They have these other solid pieces, of course, Elise Johnson. But we never even faced Kevin Durant, Harden, and Kyrie. I believe. I think was one of them out the first time we faced them this season. But yes, we're competing. But when they have Durant, it's a totally different story. It really is. They're too good offensively for us. But let's see. Video Gamer says, if we meet the Nets in the playoffs, we can really upset them. Julius Randle needs revenge after having the game in his hands twice, and we lost both. Well, that's on us. We didn't execute down the stretch. What can I say? I like to play a tournament. Oh, yeah, I read that. I just have to give everyone a little sliver of hope. This current 10th seed in the East is Chicago with a 21-28 record. That's 7 games under 500. Yeah, it's crazy. We should win all of our East games possible. Rather all of our games against East teams. I'd rather our young players have that playoff experience very early in their career than a 13th or 14th pick. That's a bum. Yeah, I feel you. But I think we're going to trade up regardless, though. I know the Mavericks pick's really low, but we're not bringing in 3 rookies. So I'm telling you guys right now, the pick will be higher than 13. I promise you guys. No, because as 9th seed, if we win the play-in, we will officially be the 8th seed. Oh yeah, but I'm just saying like we're not going to get past. I'm sorry, but we're not going to get past the first round, even if we are the 8th seed. So I'm saying it's still going to be competitive. Like we're still like competing for a playoff spot. But I'm just saying when you're an 8th seed, it's kind of like you're not even in the playoffs, especially because we're going to be facing like the Nets or the Sixers. You know. So like some people would rather be the 9th seed in the play-in and settle for a higher lottery pick. I wish, Anthony. We have to make it to the playoffs first. If we get one game in, people will be like, "Oh my gosh, the Nets aren't legit." Bray Pan says, "Gotta go work out now. Now, keep grinding on your channel and have a great night." You have a great night as well. Hope everything goes well and you stay safe. And yeah, get that grind in, man. I really appreciate all your support. Appreciate you being a member. Devin says, "Bro, trade all 3 picks for a player in the offseason or do a sign and trade for Lonzo." Sheesh. Trade all 3 picks for a player in the offseason. Or would you rather trade for a player in the offseason or get a player that fits the timeline? I feel like we're going to be aggressive in the draft. I really do. We can get into the play-in. At least we have enough for that. Yeah, I think we will. You have to be you have to be outside of the 10th seed to not be in the play-in. The Knicks are 1 superstar away from being a force in the East. I agree. We need a point guard. If it's a point guard, that's a number 1 option. If it's a point guard and a number 1 option, oh, the Lillard would be a dream, but Lillard's really loyal. Trade for a player that fits the timeline. Will the Nets be like the Clippers last year and never have all their stars together? They're in the East though. It's way more. It's way easier to get to the championship though, in my opinion. Because like in the West, they have some like dark horses like the Suns. Well, Suns aren't even a dark horse. They're a top 3 seed. They're just being overlooked because the media. We've been saying that for the past 10, 15 years. Like we haven't had one since a long time. Sucks. I think I can stop sharing my screen now. Yeah, Quickly's going to be a nice 6-man for us. But yeah, Walt Frazier, Stephon Marbury, Derek Harper, just Charlie Ward. We haven't had a good point guard in a long time. Trying to think of the one point guard I never got to see, but he's one of the best Knicks point guards. That's what I sadly think of him as, video gamers. Because I watched him play in college. I didn't see anything that translated to the NBA except cutting back door. There wasn't a lot of versatility to his game. I hated the pick, to be honest with you. I wanted Devin Vassell or Sadiq Bey. Yeah, we could waive him, though. We all wish. We all wish. No, we have 2 firsts and an early second. The early second is kind of like a first rounder. I believe it's like the first or second pick of the second round. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate the support. If you guys haven't checked out my latest video, I recommend checking it out. But yeah, I might have to close it out soon because I have to eat dinner. Yeah, unless the Knicks fall off and we go on to lose games we're not supposed to, like when we lost the Timberwolves, you know. Would you mind trading Knox? I would trade Knox and Neil. They're not gonna be here in the future. If Frank is here, it's gonna be for depth. Or Frank, yeah, Frank might just be here for depth. I don't see us bringing him back though. I think he's done. Personally. Knicks haven't signed a rookie to a second contract since '92. I think that will change. I think that's going to change with RJ. I think that's going to change with RJ for sure. He's looked amazing. Don't worry, it'll change, man. Don't worry, man. We should trade Knox, Frank, 15, 22, 31 for pick. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I really want it. Knox, Frank, 15, 22, 31 for pick. I can't be mad at that. Knox doesn't fit here. He doesn't fit in New York. He fits in like a lower market. Frank, as much as we like him defensively, I don't give a shit. He's been a bust here. Like he's a good defensive player, but he's gotten beat out by so many bum point guards. It's hilarious. He is what he is. Good defensive player. I love how hard he plays, but he's a bust. I'll join after Anthony. Ben McLemore, Lakers got, of course. He's pretty solid. He's improved as a 3-point shooter throughout his career. He was like a lottery pick. He's been actually a bust when you think about it. But yeah, guys, I am gonna close it out. I appreciate all you guys joining. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Keep doing you. Stay safe. Stay humble. Just thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Go Knicks. Go whatever your favorite team is. I'm allowed to say that because Knicks been bad for such a long time that we don't have a rival, so I don't even mind if you say go Celtics. All right. Yeah, have a good one, Nicholas. Have a good one, Achilles. Have a good one, Pickle. Have a good one, Anthony. Anyone that's watching this after, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, peace out, y'all. Have a good one.